2 weeks before the hearing, my mother stood in a probate courtroom and pointed at a photo of me in an apron like proof of a crime. The judge studied the picture, the gallery snickered, and my mother's lawyer smiled as if the case were already over. None of them knew I had been waiting for that moment for months. I was there to let them reveal who they were. My name is Mara Ellison, and my grandfather, Harold, built an $11 million estate through discipline. He came home from Vietnam with a bad knee and nothing in his pocket. After my mother, Renee, left when I was 12, he became my center. He taught me to balance a checkbook, change a tire, and stay quiet until I knew my ground. The quietest person in the room usually knows the most, he liked to say. When he got sick, I moved back from my army posting, took a job at Bell's Cafe, and spent my lunch breaks with him. That was the job my mother later used against me. She had not been a mother for years. She left with a man in a silver truck and only returned when my grandfather's money became a rumor she could not ignore. Her husband, Travis, told her to come hunting. When Harold died on a Tuesday in January, I was holding his hand. His last words were, "You'll be fine. You stayed." In his cedar box, I found a handwritten letter naming me as the person who would protect what he built. It said my mother would come back for the money, not for him. It was right. 3 weeks after the funeral, the will was read. I inherited the estate as executor and primary beneficiary. My mother received a modest cash gift and enough resentment to feed a storm. Days later, her attorney filed a petition claiming I lacked the qualifications to manage the assets. They attached photographs of me serving coffee and called it evidence. I had spent 6 years as a JAG officer prosecuting fraud cases. I had overseen more money than Travis had seen. But I said nothing, not yet. Elaine Mercer, an estate lawyer from law school, told me to let them build their own trap. So I kept working at the cafe, kept wearing the apron, and kept my uniform in its garment bag. Elaine and I assembled tax records, investment statements, charitable donations, my service record, and Harold's letter. Every account grew. Every bill was paid. The hearing began in a cramped county courtroom smelling of wax and old paper. My mother arrived in a navy dress, eyes damp, with Travis beside her and Mitchell Doran, a smooth Richmond attorney, at the front table. When he rose, he held up the same photo and called me just a waitress 3 times. He said my life proved I could not handle $11 million. My mother nodded along, crying on cue. Travis talked about fiduciary duty, then asked if I understood what real money required. I sat still. I let them spend themselves. When Elaine cross-examined Travis, she asked how many of his properties were in pre-foreclosure. He stiffened. The room changed. He had not come to protect my mother. He had come to get his hands on my grandfather's estate. More witnesses followed, and each answer made the lie thinner. At recess, townspeople told Elaine what they had seen, me buying medicine, driving Harold to appointments, sitting with him through the worst nights. No one had seen my mother, not once. When the hearing resumed, Elaine stood and opened the blue binder. She read out my degree, bar admission, Army commission, and years prosecuting fraud. The courtroom went dead silent when she said my full rank. Captain Mara Ellison, Judge Advocate General's Corps. Then she showed 4 years of clean management and a 14% increase. She finished with Harold's letter. The judge read it twice. My mother broke first. She stood, shaking, and accused me of poisoning Harold against her. Then the courtroom door opened, and Colonel James Patterson, my former commander, walked in dress uniform. He testified that I was the most disciplined officer he had ever supervised. After that, Judge had no patience left for the apron photograph. Her ruling came fast. The petition was denied. The will stood. The estate remained mine to manage. She warned Travis's lawyer against using humiliation instead of evidence. My mother cried like someone losing a language she had used too long. Travis walked out without looking back. Afterward, people in the hallway hugged me, shook my hand, and said Harold would be proud. Frank, the cafe owner, gave me my grandfather's chipped mug and told me Harold had known I would handle it. I kept the apartment above the cafe and helped set up a scholarship in Harold's name. My mother sent one text weeks later, the old photo of me in Harold's arms. I did not answer. I did not need to. I had stayed. That was the whole truth, and it was enough.